I only got one more night. I'm gonna leave out loud goodbye. This gonna
What
be
up,
the
what
type
up,
of
what
night
up?
they
It's your boy,
make
Mr. Vaughn. Mr.
movies.
Vaughn's channel, Sweatbox. We back, we live, we active here on the channel. Yes, indeed. You know how we do. Still dodging those digital jabs, baby. Let's talk this Loki. Episode 5. Journey into Mystery. I believe that's what it's called. Let me check to make sure. It's called Journey into Mystery. Yes, Journey into Mystery. So at the end of episode 4, Loki got pruned and woke up in an alternate dimension or something. What we now know to be called the Void. It's basically the dumping ground for when they prune stuff. It's a bunch of crazy stuff. Now, this episode was full of Easter eggs. Spoiler alert, by the way, just in case you ain't realized and seeing the title. There were so many Easter eggs in this episode. I mean, it was crazy. Yeah, man, this was another. Let me say, okay, good episode. For this being the penultimate episode, I felt like it was. I'm not gonna say disappointing, because I've watched it and I've watched the episode now 2 times, which is another reason why my review's a little late. But I don't know, man. They gonna have to really come with it in the finale for me to say that this series as a whole has been worth it, because it started out very strong. Episode 3 was a real letdown. It was just so boring. Nothing happened. But episode 4 came strong. And then episode 5 was just, It wasn't great, but it definitely wasn't bad. It wasn't as bad as episode 3. The Easter eggs alone make it better than episode 3. But I love the interactions with all the different Lokis. Alligator Loki, future Loki, Kid Loki. Alligator Loki was dope. He went around. When the scene when they're in the hideout, and then the other presidential Loki comes and they have the whole face off. All the Lokis start turning on each other. So here's a question that I have, and a couple people were wondering: when presidential Loki showed up, and he had his whole crew with him, some people are speculating that those were just henchmen, and other people are speculating that those are actually other Loki variants. I feel like, because somebody pointed out that one of the dudes was pictured in the other Loki variants when at the beginning of the season, when they were showing the different Loki variants, they said that one of those guys was, I don't know, they were either Loki variants or just henchmen. I feel like they might have been Loki variants. I'm going to lean to the fact that they were Loki variants, because when they all started turning on each other, and the black Loki with the Thor hammer, that was great. All of that was great. I mean, the Easter eggs in this, like, again, we had an Easter egg of the Yellow Jackets head from Ant-Man. We had the Thanos copter. We had the Avengers Tower that said Kang on it. It said Q-A-N-G, Kang. So for that, yeah. Another Kang the Conqueror Easter egg. There was a helicarrier. Like I said, the Thanos copter. There was a bunch of stuff. We saw that scene when they're going into the underground and we see Frog Thor. We saw the Frog Thor and the hammer. That was dope. Little Frog Thor in the jar trying to get through. That was dope. As soon as they started to pan and we saw that, I was like, are they gonna do an underground, see something in the dirt trick? And they sure did. The stuff like that is famous from like Simpsons and Family Guy and stuff. They usually see. That's great. I loved it. That was a great scene. And so then in the real world, back at the TVA, Sylvie and the judge, Ravonna Renslayer, they're going at it, and Ravonna tricks Sylvie into thinking she's on her side, trying to figure out what's on with the TVA long enough for she gets back up, and then Sylvie just prunes herself and heads to the Void to find Loki, because Ravonna told her basically that's where the Void takes you. That's what happens when you get pruned. Once she's there, she runs into Mobius. She runs into Mobius. He comes through in the piece of truck. That was dope. The giant cloud smoke monster. I forget his name. He's from the comics, I guess. I didn't know anything about that, but I forget his name. That was cool. I like the fact that she was able to try to enchant it, and the whole scene, all the scenes with her and Loki, they're definitely teasing the love interest thing. Are they really gonna go for it? Is it gonna play out? I don't know. Somebody made an interesting point. There was a scene where they were when he's sharing the blanket with her, and he asked her, she asked, "Are you gonna betray me?" And he went through this whole spiel and made a promise that he's not, and how I'm a different person and all that. It made me think she might betray him. She's still a Loki. She might betray him at the end, or after it's all said and done. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if that did happen though. Yeah, man, it was a pretty good episode. I'm trying to think what else do I want to talk about. So at the end, well, okay, yeah, real quick. So Ravonna then after Sylvie prunes herself, and then she goes to the end. Ravonna goes to talk to B-15. I think, yeah, B-15. She's got her locked up. She didn't prune her. She got her locked up. She's questioning her. She wants to know what Sylvie showed her, because she's trying to figure it out too. So they come to the conclusion that there's something. Well, so okay, when Sylvie first got there, that whole time when she touches it, she sees the flashback of the castle. When she touches the little smoke monster, she sees the flashback, not the flashback, but the flash of the castle. That's when she realizes that he's like the guard dog. And so her, Loki, Mobius, Kid Loki, Alligator Loki, and Old Loki all team up with the plan to take down to distract the little smoke monster thing long enough for her to enchant it, so they can get past it to get to the little castle thing. And older Loki did the dope thing where he manifested the entire Asgard. That was actually really dope. That was actually really dope when he manifested all of Asgard, and then he went out like a champ and got ate by the dragon monster smoke thing. It was a glorious purpose. It was great. It was great. It was great. He did really good as old Loki. I like how Kid Loki was he was a variant that got pruned because he killed Thor. What? What? And he was the king of that realm because of that. That was dope. That was Kid Loki was dope. He's still alive too, so we might get to see him again. They might bring him back for Young Avengers, maybe. Fingers crossed. What else? So then they do that thing where they didn't do that thing where they do it. It wasn't. They do the scene where Sylvie and Loki, you know what I'm saying, combine their powers so they can both have enough to enchant the giant thing, the smoke monster guy, and then they go through, and that's how the episode ends, with them going through to the end of the castle. Mobius goes back to the TVA and he promises he's gonna burn it to the ground. We'll see what's up with that. We got one episode left. I know. Here's what I know. Here's what I know is we better see Mobius in the jet ski next week. I know that much. That's all I know. We better see Mobius in the jet ski next week. Yeah, man, this was a pretty good episode. Little underwhelming. I'm gonna admit, but on the second viewing, I liked it more than I did on the first viewing. So I'm still give it a thumbs up. But they need to come with the great ending for this series, episode 6. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, this is definitely going to be my third favorite in the series. It's definitely going to be behind Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision. So, but I don't know yet. We'll see how it ends. We'll see how it ends. So, let me think. Am I forgetting anything else of importance that I want to talk about? Not that I can remember. Oh yeah, one old Loki also told the story about how, because they were talking about how each of them were supposed to die by Thanos' hands. Basically, old Loki was talking about how, nah, I didn't do that. I made a copy of myself that was good enough to fool even Thanos, and he killed that version, and I just hid. The only reason I got pruned is because I missed my brother, and I went to try to find him. So that was interesting. But yeah, man, all the different Loki variants was pretty cool. I like that. The Easter eggs was pretty cool. Like I said, on second viewing, this episode is definitely a lot better. I feel like I'm talking myself into liking it more now, the more I think about it. I just feel like the way it ended was kind of weird, I guess. I guess that's the biggest thing. It's just, I don't know. It just felt like that ended kind of so abruptly. So I don't know. Because there was no post-credit scene in this one either. But overall, fairly good episode. Really good episode. I'm all over the place, I know. But whatever. I liked it. Let me see how it ends before I put my final thing on it. Because I got so many question marks. I guess that's why I'm kind of about this episode. Because I just got so many question marks. So we got to see how it ends. Anyway, Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below. How are you guys liking the series overall? Are you guys disappointed? Or has it lived up to expectations? And it's coming back for season 2 apparently, so we'll see. We shall see. Post your comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Click those notifications. And until next time, you know how we do.
I'ma go to the ends with you. I'ma go to the end with you. I'ma go.